There are all sorts of myths about child custody in Connecticut, and the problem is that those misunderstandings can actually lead to long-term conflict between parents and chaos for children. So today we're going to take this really seriously and debunk the myths. So myth number one is actually that shared custody is automatic in Connecticut, and that's not true. It's not. Many parents do share custody in something that looks close to 50-50 or like substantially equal, but that's not the presumption and it's not what's required. What actually happens is that courts determine what's in a child's best interest. And there are a bunch of factors that they look at in order to figure out what that would be. So child's best interest, look at the factors, and then it may result in children spending equal time with each parent, but it may not result in that. The second myth is that kids over the age of 14 get to choose where they'd like to live. We hear it a lot, it's not a thing. The court will take into consideration a child's informed preferences, but that's only one of the factors that they look at. The key you have to remember here is that that's for a good reason. These are kids. They can be confused about what's best for them. They're even may be a little bit manipulated by a parent or an adult. And sometimes they actually use a custody battle to try to manipulate their parents. We want to do whatever we can to set aside our differences, focus on our kids, and make sure that we do not pressure children to pick a parent. It's one of the worst things that parents can do to kids. So last but not least is myth number three, and that's that shared custody eliminates child support. It does not. So a lot of times parents might want custody to be exactly down the line 50-50, in part because they think that that means that there won't be any child support paid from one parent to the other parent. So that's not what determines child support. We have child support guidelines in Connecticut that you run, and child support can flow regardless of how custody works. Child support is one thing and custody is another thing. The key thing to make sure that you remember about this myth is that parenting and child support are separate and they stay separate. It is really hard to be a parent when you're getting a divorce. There's this upset at the very idea of not seeing your children every day when you get home. That is real and it is hard. We help a lot of people through this process, and I just want to make sure that you know, as a parent, from me to you, your kids are really resilient, and the best thing that you can do to support them is to love them and to figure out a parenting plan that really will work for your kids. We have a lot of experience in a lot of different unique situations where we've worked with the parents, with child experts, to get really creative to set up how kids in a specific family can thrive through a divorce and especially on the other side of the divorce. Give us a call so we can get it right for your family.